In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts on all the major things that happened on this episode of Smackdown. The show started off very hot right away. Jey Uso was on a stretcher being put into the back of an ambulance with everybody like concerned and yelling and stuff. Nobody knows who attacked him, so we got another mystery storyline. Woohoo! But obviously, Jey is not able to compete in the chamber anymore at that point. I know a lot of people are happy about this because they didn't want Jey in the chamber. I don't think it's a big deal to have Jey in the chamber. There's nothing wrong with it. But there's also nothing wrong with this. There ended up being a qualifying match later in the night, which we'll talk about later. As for who possibly attacked Jey Uso, I think it's probably Sami Zayn. They're finally teasing a heel turn for Sami Zayn, and him taking out Jey is, I think, a realistic possibility, especially since he's been crashing out the past couple weeks. Next, we had a face-off in the ring between all 6 men in the Elimination Chamber match, minus Jey Uso, of course. The show started off with Drew McIntyre before he was very quickly interrupted by Cody Rhodes, and he said, "Enough! Enough!" They started cutting a promo on Drew McIntyre, and then Randy Orton interrupted, and I got so hyped. And then they had like a 30-second promo, and then somebody else came out. I really wish they would have given Cody and Randy more time on the mic to help build tension and potentially lead to Randy turning on him, but they didn't. Trick Williams interrupted, and then before he could get like any words out, Javon Evans interrupted him, and then before he could get anything out, NIA interrupted him, and then the LA Knight cut a promo, said with everybody saying LA Knight, yeah. And as he said that, Trick Williams said, "Whoop that trick." And then LA Knight was like, "Did you just say whoop that trick?" And then he was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay." And then they started fighting. And then Randy Orton RKO'd Javon Evans. And then Cody thought about going for the crossroads on Randy, but they just stared at each other for a couple seconds. And then Randy Orton got out of the ring and left. So they did tease Cody versus Randy a little bit, but I think it would have been more interesting or juicy if Cody got RKO'd or Cody put Randy in the crossroads, or they had a longer promo. So that's the only thing I'd really change about this segment. But yeah, overall, a pretty good segment. Next, we had a match between Solo Sikoa and Uncle Howdy for the Lantern, and this was just horrendous. I mean, the match itself was solid. Uncle Howdy won. He finally grabbed the lantern. And I was like, thank God this feud is over. We don't have to deal with this anymore. And then Hikuleo came in, kicked Uncle Howdy, took the lantern back. So we get more of this feud. Yay. Just end the feud. This feud has been going since like October. It has been 4 months. They had a Survivor Series elimination match. They had an 8-man tag match. And they had this match. What more do we need to do here? It is getting so stale. It's just like Damian Priest and Aleister Black. Please just end this feud already. Why? Why did you have to have them get the lantern back? It was right in front of you. You just had to let Uncle Howdy get the lantern. It wasn't that difficult. WWE's choking on it, though. Pause. Next, we had a title change that I actually predicted. The Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, won the Women's Tag Team Championships over Rio. And Rhea actually took the pin, which was a nice change of pace. But I think Rhea's definitely winning the chamber now. Nia and Lash have been on fire, and I think these tag titles are well earned. They seem like a full-on tag team now. Rhea looks like she's going after Jade for WrestleMania. They had, I believe, Rhea and Jade had an interaction backstage during the show. So they're teasing that already, and it's seeming like Io is going to go after Julia. So I think this was the right decision. I think this was a great decision. I don't think there was really a wrong decision in this match, but I think this was the right one. And we finally, after a 3-week drought that felt way longer than that, we had a Carmelo Hayes United States Championship Open Challenge. He wanted Ilya Dragunov to answer, but Ilya was like, no, I've been losing too many matches lately. I don't deserve it, but I'll go after it eventually. So Matt Cardona ended up answering. It was a pretty good match. He landed a nasty broski boot in the match where he actually kicked the crap out of Carmelo Hayes. But he ended up retaining. Obviously the correct decision there. I like Matt Cardona, but shouldn't dethrone Carmelo Hayes. And hopefully they keep this open challenge going. And when are they going to have Kit Wilson answer it? They should have had him answer when he first got the new theme song and he was on fire and exploding on the internet. He should have answered the open challenge. I don't know why they didn't have him do that. But like when it was in London or whatever, they should have had Kit Wilson answer it so that Leon Slater could have just been at the TNA show. But yeah, hopefully Kit Wilson answers it soon, and hopefully the next few weeks we get this open challenge again. Then the main event match between Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul, and the winner replaces Jey Uso in the Elimination Chamber match. And Logan Paul ended up winning. The last couple minutes were pretty exhilarating and interesting. The Masked Man was revealed, but it wasn't Seth Rollins or Bad Bunny. It was this dude. What? It's apparently independent wrestler Don Furio. I don't know if this is a joke. I don't know if they're scrapping the storyline. I don't know if this is actually the reveal. It obviously isn't originally the person who was playing the Masked Man. And I don't feel like this was the original plan to have some random independent wrestler be the Masked Man. So what I'm thinking is they're just saying this is the Masked Man and scrapping the storyline probably, which would be pretty stupid because why would some random indie wrestler be somehow getting into WWE and attacking the Vision? Doesn't make any sense. But seeming like they're just going to drop this storyline. This is completely unrelated to SmackDown, but I just found this out as I was recording. Just in, Danhausen has officially been removed from the AEW roster page. So, basically, he's in the box. It's basically confirmed at this point. Literally, the day before Elimination Chamber, he is released from AEW. So, yeah, he's debuting tonight. He's in the box. Which, you know, hypothetically, canonically, if he's in the box, he's been in there for about 2 weeks, right? Somehow, just, we'll say he's magically surviving. Because there appears to be no air holes or a way for him to get food or water. But, that would mean he got fired from AEW while in a box and signed a contract with WWE while in the box. And got in the box when he was still under AEW contract and showed up on WWE TV. So, that's interesting. But, yeah, so he's definitely in the box. Let me know your thoughts on this episode of SmackDown, though. Thank you so much for watching. Check out another video on the screen if you want. Like and subscribe if you want. And